The famous saying goes, the most important things are often left unsaid. But what if you could read those unspoken words? What if you could finally understand what she's trying to communicate through her body language? Have you ever found yourself in a moment with a woman, unsure if she's attracted to you or just being friendly? You think there might be something there, but you can't quite put your finger on it. How many times have you walked away from a situation wondering, did I miss a sign? Was she trying to tell me something, but I just didn't see it? It's frustrating, right? The truth is, most men miss out on the subtle signals women give when they're interested because they aren't trained to recognize them. And let's be honest, decoding body language can feel like trying to read a language you don't understand. So let me ask you this, how many opportunities have slipped by because you didn't know how to interpret her cues? How many moments could have led to something more if you only knew what to look for? Well, the good news is, you're not alone, and you're about to change that. In this video, we're going to break down the key signs, those small, often overlooked signals that a woman gives when she's attracted to you. By the end, you'll be able to recognize these cues with confidence and never second-guess her interest again. Lesson 1. Recognize lip biting as a sign of arousal. Have you ever left a conversation with a woman only to realize later that you might have missed a sign she was interested? It's frustrating when you're unsure if she was just being friendly or if there was something deeper going on. Lip biting is one of those subtle signals that's often easy to miss, but if you overlook it, you could be passing up a chance to build a stronger connection. The problem is, when you don't pick up on these cues, you're left wondering what might have happened if you had just noticed. As the saying goes, the body speaks what the mind doesn't. Lip biting is a perfect example of this. It's a silent, unconscious signal that can reveal a lot about what she's feeling. When a woman bites or licks her lips in your presence, it's often a sign of nervous excitement, attraction, or even sexual tension. It's her way of expressing that she's interested without having to say it out loud. So what should you do when you notice it? Start by simply paying attention. If she's biting or licking her lips during your conversation, take it as a hint that she's feeling something beyond the surface level. Stay calm and relaxed. There's no need to rush or change the flow of the interaction, but it's a good moment to recognize that she's interested. We'll use this as a cue to engage with her more confidently and naturally, knowing that she might be more open to deeper connection than her words are letting on. Lesson 2. Pay attention to increased physical touch. Have you ever found yourself talking to a woman and noticed that she keeps finding excuses to touch you? Maybe she lightly brushes your arm or leans in a little closer while you're chatting. It can be confusing to interpret these gestures, and if you don't recognize them as signs of interest, you might miss an opportunity to connect on a deeper level. The problem is that ignoring these physical cues can lead to missed chances for romance and intimacy, leaving you wondering why things didn't progress. As they say, actions speak louder than words. Increased physical touch is one of those actions that often reveals what someone truly feels. When a woman touches you, even in small ways, it's usually a sign that she feels comfortable with you and is interested. These touches can range from a gentle touch on the arm to a playful nudge. They indicate that she's trying to create a bond and is open to deeper interaction. So how should you respond when you notice this? First, pay attention to how often she initiates contact. If she's touching you frequently, that's a clear sign she's interested. Instead of pulling away or feeling unsure, lean into it. Keep the conversation going, and if the moment feels right, you can reciprocate with gentle, appropriate touches of your own. This will create a sense of connection and build intimacy. Remember, when she reaches out to touch you, it's an invitation to engage more closely and deepen the interaction. Lesson 3. Hips movement is a mating signal. Have you ever noticed how a woman moves her hips when she walks by you? Maybe she sways them a little more, or walks with a certain rhythm that catches your eye. It's easy to overlook this movement, but if you don't recognize it as a signal of attraction, you could miss out on an opportunity for connection. The problem is that ignoring this primal signal might leave you wondering if she was ever interested in the first place, or worse, thinking that she was just passing through without a second glance. As the saying goes, body language doesn't lie. A woman's hip movement can reveal a lot about her level of attraction. When she's interested in someone, her hips often sway more deliberately. This isn't just about how she walks, it's a natural instinct that can signal sexual availability. The way she moves can draw your attention to her curves and can be a subtle invitation for you to come closer. So what can you do when you notice this? Start by observing her movements. If she's walking with a more pronounced sway around you, it's likely a sign that she's trying to grab your attention. Instead of ignoring it or feeling awkward, respond by making eye contact and smiling. This acknowledgement can create a moment of connection. If the situation feels right, don't hesitate to move closer or initiate a conversation. When you recognize her hip movement as an invitation, you're not just watching, you're participating in a dance of attraction that could lead to something more meaningful. Lesson 4: Eyes as a window to desire. Have you ever caught a woman staring at you, only to look away when you meet her gaze? It can be confusing to figure out what she's thinking in those moments. If you don't pay attention to these eye signals, you might miss out on understanding her true feelings. The problem is that ignoring eye contact can lead to misunderstandings and missed opportunities for connection, leaving you uncertain about her interest. As the saying goes, the eyes are the windows to the soul. When a woman is attracted to someone, her eyes can reveal a lot. If she's making prolonged eye contact, especially if her pupils are dilated, it's a clear sign that she's interested. Research shows that eye contact can create a sense of intimacy and chemistry between two people. If you notice her looking at you often, even if she quickly looks away when you catch her, it's likely a sign of attraction. So how should you respond to her gaze? First, pay attention to how often she makes eye contact. If she's looking at you frequently and her gaze lingers, it's a strong indicator of her interest. Instead of shying away, hold her gaze for a moment longer and smile. This can create a sense of connection and encourage her to engage with you further. If the moment feels right, you can approach her and start a conversation. Remember, when her eyes are locked on you, it's an invitation to explore that connection and see where it might lead. Lesson 5: Subtle sexual cues. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're not sure if a woman is flirting with you or just being friendly? It can be tricky to navigate, especially when her words don't seem to match her body language. If you're not tuned into the subtle cues she gives, you might miss out on a chance to connect. The problem is that overlooking these small signals can leave you feeling confused and uncertain, wondering if there was potential for something more. As they say, sometimes what is unsaid is just as important as what is said. Women often communicate their interest in much subtler ways than men do. These cues can include everything from her posture to the way she laughs at your jokes. If she leans in closer while you're talking, tilts her head, or frequently touches her hair, these are all signs that she might be attracted to you. Even a simple smile can carry deeper meaning when it's accompanied by certain body language. So how can you become more aware of these subtle cues? Start by being observant. Pay attention to her body language as much as her words. If you notice her engaging in these subtle behaviors, it's likely that she's showing interest. When you see these signs, respond with your own open body language, maintain eye contact, smile, and lean in slightly. This mutual exchange can create a space where she feels comfortable expressing her feelings. Remember, recognizing these subtle sexual cues can help you gauge her interest and allow you to take the next step confidently. Lesson 6: Respond to subtle cues confidently. Have you ever felt uncertain about how to respond when a woman sends you subtle signals of attraction? Maybe she gives you a lingering smile or a gentle touch, and you're not sure how to take it from there. If you hesitate or fail to act on these cues, you might end up missing out on an opportunity to connect. The problem with not responding confidently is that it can leave both you and her feeling awkward, leading to a missed chance for a deeper relationship. As the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. When you notice those subtle cues of interest, it's essential to respond with confidence. Women appreciate when a man recognizes their signals and takes action. If you're unsure, remember that confidence can make all the difference. If she's giving you signals, she's likely hoping you'll pick up on them and respond in kind. So how do you respond to these subtle cues? First, trust your instincts. If you feel that she's interested, take a deep breath and make your move. Approach her with a genuine smile and engage her in conversation. You can compliment her or ask her a question that encourages her to open up. The key is to be assertive yet respectful. When you respond confidently, you not only show that you're aware of her interest, but also that you're ready to take the next step. Remember, a confident response can turn a simple interaction into something meaningful, so don't hesitate to seize the moment when the cues are there. Lesson 7. Notice if she breaks personal barriers. Have you ever found yourself in close proximity to a woman, and you notice she wasn't shy about getting a little closer? Maybe she leans in while you're talking or brushes against you. It can be easy to overlook these actions, but if you do, you might miss out on understanding her level of interest. The problem is that ignoring these personal space breaks can leave you feeling confused about her intentions, causing you to second-guess the connection. As the saying goes, personal space is a reflection of comfort. When a woman breaks that barrier, it usually indicates that she feels at ease with you and is interested in being closer. If she leans in to hear you better, touches your arm, or even moves to sit closer, these are strong signals that she's comfortable with you and may want to deepen the interaction. So how should you respond when you notice her breaking personal barriers? First, pay attention to how she positions herself around you. If she's moving closer, it's a good sign that she's attracted. Instead of stepping back or feeling awkward, lean in slightly and match her energy. You can ask her a question to keep the conversation flowing and encourage her to engage more. This mutual closeness can create a more intimate atmosphere, making it easier for both of you to connect on a deeper level. Remember, when she's willing to break those personal barriers, it's an invitation to explore that connection further. So embrace the moment and see where it leads. Now we are about to end the video. Now it is time to change your life. Write down a comment and say that you want to change your life, no matter how difficult it is to change. I will read each of your comments and feature one of the best comments in our channel. If you want a daily dose of unfiltered motivation, subscribe to our channel.